Hello. Yes, good morning. We are actually about to make a coffee. Before we do that, class really wanted to make a statement or just bring awareness to this. A lot of people are really bothered by this, myself included. Naturally, yeah. So here we go. We're going to watch this quick clip. Nice thing to wake up to, huh? Well, remember, they're going through it,
But
so.
my son just called and said that his school just brought him to a protest. So he's currently at a fucking protest. I'm fitting to go rage. Who the fuck said you could bring my child to a protest? Any of our kids to a protest. They see what's happening today. Bring it, kids.
Excuse me. So there are some people in class saying his anger is uncalled for. Dude, you should shut the fuck up. Wow. Not a good time. Not a good fucking time, dude. Wow, we have people in class that have actually uh, had their families personally attacked by some of these psychos that don't want to accept the facts with what's going on within our healthcare systems and public schools and the changes that need to be implemented in proper education because they've been poisoning a lot of people and killing people, and they can't accept that. And they think the people that are actually trying to bring the truth out about that are crazy and going to kill people for not vaccinating. And what they've been doing to me and my children here for over 2 decades with these psychos is psychotic and disturbing. We have 4 children here that are in the hands of these people that have been fucked and tortured and vaccine injured in 2013. And they think it's okay, and they actually egg on people beating us up over the years. They'll take advantage of the mentally ill people and get them to think it's cool to beat us up. Over medicated. Yeah, they're either over medicated or mentally ill, one or the other, huh? It's amazing. Absolutely incredible, isn't it? Right. So, yeah, no, a lot of people in class not only think that his anger is justified, but they are outraged just watching it and would be pissed off as well, and are thinking about the years gone by and the people that have been trying to bring attention to those things with the public school systems and get better security and more teachers, mindful classes. And over the years, we've been dealing with different communities and them ignoring these things and sending in a lot of rhetoric and bullshit, flooding places with drugs and protests, psychos. They can't get them with the drugs and other stuff. It's with information and rhetoric, get them in the streets, sovereign rights, blah, blah. They're helping a lot of the druggies, really. That's all they're doing. It's like a bunch of turtle washers in the streets, you know? Wake the fuck up, people.
There now. Purposely in schools. Washington State. Send this out. Washington State sending their kids to protest. I'll see you soon. Let me give you a little rundown on the way there. White Center, we call out here Rat City. If anybody from Washington State knows this Rat City is not an area you bring kids, let alone bring kids to a protest in this piece of shit city. If anybody knows White Center, you know Rat City is dangerous. Why are you bringing our kids into dangerous territory with fucking protesting going on? Anyway, I'll see you soon. See you in the next video. Looks like they made it all back to the school already before I can get here. Yeah, so they all just got back before I can get here. All the kids. Fucking furry teachers on their bikes. Is this really what's going on? This is craziness. This is craziness.
Look at that. Young kid walking the road with his bike by the middle school.
You got the blue hairs.
Are they telling him he's fighting for his country,
Oh my God, my kid is
standing
at a
up for
woke
their
school.
rights? What are they? They
What
have
is
no
going
clue.
on? This is
So
Cascade
sad.
Middle School, everybody. Cascade Middle School in Washington State. Did you consent to that?
I don't want to.
You didn't want to?
One of the guys was like the guy with the megaphone, like a kid, was like, "You're not taught the federal thing involved, whatever it is."
Best believe I will be at the next school board meeting. You'll see my next video when that happens.
Yeah, school over inside of Washington, ladies and gentlemen. That's where that went down. But that's
Right.
probably
Well,
not the
and
most
then to
shocking
them they'll
video.
say, "Oh yes, good job, well done. We're getting parents more involved." Right. Wow.
Shocking video actually comes out of Hayes, Consolidated Independent School District over inside of Texas, where they decided it'd be a good idea to riot and beat the hell out of their teacher. Why? As you can see on the ground right here, he had a MAGA hat on. It wasn't like they just threw a couple blows and ran away. No, they beat the living brakes off this teacher. Looks like they could have possibly shattered his window at the same time.
Yeah. Jesus. Yeah. A lot of people are very bothered by this. So how is this even happening too? And they knew that there was going to be a protest going on. So how was there not more security to protect that kind of stuff from happening? Now, hold up, we get people in class. A lot of times they don't realize I can hear those classes and that we have people showing me what all you psychos, local and afar, are saying. So some of them are going, oh, right, I thought this was okay, right? Weren't we promoting? Because of the song, we were singing a song recently that the Jehovah's Witnesses taught us when we were kids out in a Rat City community. Yeah. I remember when we used to come to town, some people would call us sand niggers. I know, I'm very a white-skinned person. Cracker. Why are they calling us sand niggers? And frogs. They're calling me a French frog. What does that mean? Ribbit? Lizard? I don't remember. We used to just make fun back and we'd stick our tongues out and go, lizard. Yeah, it became just a joke, really. This was back in the 90s, yeah? I know, and if you're familiar with a lot of the other stuff that was going on with the drug trafficking and child molesters and what happened there. I know, and I don't remember right, and a ghost pushed me down the stairs, fractured my shoulder. Yeah, so anyways, the Jehovah's Witnesses has taught us some songs, and mine eyes have seen the glory of the burning of the school, tortured every teacher, broken every rule. I know, these fun songs they taught us. Right, so now we have these idiots in class going, oh, I thought you were promoting this. This is how psychotic they are, and over the years they'll show clips to people in other areas of anyone saying something. Right, they'll pick people like us, and over the years when we were kids back in the 90s around that time, remember? Yeah, they tried to get them saying nigger jokes. My brother got my sister, she went to the school and called Miss Patfoot Miss Nigger. And mom would laugh about it, thinking, oh, kids will be kids. And kids say the darndest things. It's like, yeah, no. Right. I mean, I wasn't even born at that time, probably, yeah. Because she was only 6 or 7 when she did that. And I was born in 82. And she was born in 75. So it was probably right around the time I was born. Yeah, my meme says my sisters hated me and that one of them used to smack me all the time. She had to put one of them time out because my mom wouldn't punish them for smacking me. She told me all about it when I got older. Yeah, mom said she didn't remember right either. Amazing, isn't it? Right. I know. You just feel like you're just not holding up to what you're supposed to do as a kid because you got the left and the right, as parents, right? And you got one that's promoting the drugs and the drug trafficking, and that's cool to do. And then the other one's promoting all the young age modeling and bullshit. You're living in a world of what the fuck. You go stupid. By the time I was 12, I was like 250 pounds and retarded, fed up with the activists wanting me to do something about their brothers overdosing. Give me a fucking break. Oh, wow, someone else's brake lines just got cut. I'm sure that's my fault too. Right, so by the time I was 16, 17, I was getting attacked by groups of people from both sides. They both wanted me dead. They hated me. Right, so I was put on the programs when I was 18 for a reason, and the groups that were involved, some of the ones beating me up and stuff, yeah, I got attacked by groups of people. Right, so they're gone. This was back in the 90s. Yeah, they've moved away. California, Texas. Right, they thought it was okay, I guess, because people thought I was retarded and should be taken off the streets. And then other people, yeah, part of our cartel family. So people think they can just have a free for all with retards like me. Right, so I was put on the programs when I was 18 in the year 2000. Yeah, we were involved with a lot of that stuff when you look at the fundraising companies and the 9/11 shit going on. Yeah, up around here you had Smokey's Carnival, Apex Marketing. Yeah, I remember that. Look it up. We worked for all three of those companies. East Coast Marketing was the name of one of the fundraising companies. Yeah, some Italian and colored dude owned it, I believe. Angelo and Galen. Yeah, it got shut down, I believe, but a lot of them just went on to do bigger and better things. Some went into politics. It was like a traveling cruise. Yeah, they had like 15, 20 managers, and they'd go around just scooping up homeless people and people with warrants. I was a runaway from Maine with 3 warrants. They left me for dead in the woods. Yeah, oh man, there was no place for me. Not with those fucking people. Yeah, the woods. The woods was a good place for me. The snuff videos. Yeah, I made the cut for that, that's for sure. I was just lucky to make it out of the woods, dude. Yeah, they left my body in the woods for dead up by a Indian restaurant up north. I couldn't tell you. Yeah, I was only about 18 or 19, so yeah, I hadn't really been well versed on that kind of stuff yet. Being that age, you just didn't have the know how or the exposure. Nowadays, yeah, I mean, 10 years old, it's pretty easy to get access to a lot of those things, huh? Oh, yeah, when you look at that, Alex Jones and stuff can probably tell you all about that. It's weird to us sometimes, some of the things they say and don't say. Well, are you trying to help the sickos and the pedos, or it's very strange to us what's been going on over the years? So, yeah, this, no, we're not okay with this at all. This is disturbing to us. It makes a lot of us want to throw up and cry and scream, actually. How many people have been trying to get more security in the schools. You go back around COVID, what people were trying to do, bring awareness to the vaccines and healthcare. And just like back in 2008, 9, and 10, they ignored it and they spiked a lot of bullshit. And we saw the Pizzagate stuff, people shooting up pizza parlors and oh, I know, right? Dollywood and the Shrivers were all going off, the animal activists. Think about it. Think about it, you fucking idiots. Right. So people were trying to implement those education programs. They were doing some mindful stuff with the schools. The teachers flipped out. No, the parents need mindful classes. Acted like fucking children. Right. So we're like, we need to do something. What the hell? Shut it down. So they shut down all the schools. Huh. Well, that was a shutdown, all right. I mean, when you say shut it down, we were just like, cut. My gosh, enough. What the hell? But they actually shut it down. Huh. Careful what you say, huh? Bite your tongue. Oh, no. Get rid of Twinkies. Holy sh! They actually did it. They brought him back though. Don't they? It was just an experiment. Don't you ever? I thought that was a screwdriver. You reach up in your shirt like that. You almost got killed because you wanted a fucking Twinkie. Yeah, so yeah, no, this is actually disturbing to a lot of people. And we're leaving this scene there because we're showing people, you know, the size of this child's fist and how a lot of them want to play it off like, oh, crying about. And this guy, not only did he not throw fists back, he did the best he could to restrain that situation and got out. This makes a lot of us want to fucking cry. Yeah, wow. Dude, are you kidding me? So look at the size of this kid's fist going at the back of this guy's head. His fist is as big as the back of that guy's head. Are you kidding me? Yeah, unfreaking believable. So just watch how this teacher, he did the best he could to get away from these kids. Unfreaking believable. He gets away, he gets out and gets in his truck. Thank goodness. And look at that. They didn't do too much to his truck. They were more concerned about beating him up for some reason. Because he was wearing a MAGA hat.
You guys like that? Just jump at a teacher, beat the hell out of a teacher? Yeah, why not?
Yeah, so a lot of people are so bothered by this, outraged. If you are not outraged, whether you're a teacher, a citizen, student, I'm not sure. They egg them on too. I bet you those kids went home and they probably went out and celebrated. Over the years, they egg them on to beat us up too. And they will tell them job well done if they get a cheap shot in on us. Unfreaking believable. So yeah, anyways, my name is Mary. We're at the Governor Hill Mansion in Augusta, Maine. And I have 4 children here. My youngest 2 are in the hands of sick, murderous pedophiles. They've been getting away with fucking and torturing my children. These are facts. They beat up a little boy in the tub back around 2013 when they vaccinated my children behind my back, Dr. Baker. And these fucking sick activists and psycho doctors and teachers are the types turning their heads to the retards and the mentally challenged people and over-medicated freaks they get to attack us. We've been attacked over the years multiple times. Okay? And this punk fucking our children is just another attack they turn their heads to. And they got the goons turning their heads too, just like when we were kids. Because we're snitches, right? I know, just our presence. They don't realize we don't fucking talk to anybody. They don't seem to understand. They can hear and see everything we can. When I was 4 years old, you know, I was born in a hospital right over there. You could probably, it's not a hospital anymore. They turned it into the Ballard Center, huh? The new hospital's over by 8 Rod there, Middle Road. Yeah, hopefully. We sure hope so. They're right here through this door. My young 2 children, yeah, they're right through this door. The abuser's name is Michael Scott Garand. Him and his sick mother, Shirley, that have custody of my children. Disturbs me beyond words, knowing what my children have been going through. And the unknown, I don't even like to think about the shit I do know, let alone the clever stuff they're doing behind the scenes. Do you know what they do to these fucking kids? And these fucking punks are getting off on it. Do you understand that? Who are you teaching a lesson to? Because a lot of those doors got opened because they were teaching my parents a lesson, right? So a lot of the hazers and the taters over the years back, 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? I know you have the groups that were teaching my parents a lesson and then the ones teaching me a lesson for taking advantage of my sweet elderly parents. You people are fucked. You're sick and you need help. And the proper authorities need to do what they can to help these children here. We're going to go make a coffee, and we really hope we see people standing up for these teachers. This is fucking disgusting. That teacher is one of many. You understand that, right? And if people don't stand up for this, I don't know, Mr. President, I'd be at that frickin' school. This is not okay. This is not fucking okay at all. They should have where are the people? And they knew those protests were going to go on, and they allowed that to happen. They probably pointed out the dude with the MAGA hat. You know what? Whether it was staged or not, I know people are saying it was staged. Whether it was staged or not, I guess, just to see that happens, I guess. Are they showing what's been going on a larger scale? That looked pretty real. I know that there's now some are saying it was staged. Wow, they totally missed the point, right? Hey, the public school systems, the vaccines, dude, our healthcare systems. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you about this tedious fucking bullshit, and then they just spike these events that create another reason for a protest, another reason to take a stand, get people more involved. Right, it's a good way, I guess, to see in certain communities who cares, who doesn't care. Right, because some people showing up at a school meeting means you care, and some people don't show up because they care. Right, have you seen those things and how ridiculous? For years, back in 2012, people were fed up with that shit around here and the transgender bullshit they were pushing. 2012, dude. 2012, and if you look back, when they tried to kill me, you can check the records. I lost use of my arm for 3 months. It wasn't a stroke. It wasn't because I was sitting in the rocking chair for too long and lost circulation of my arm. Okay, I was standing up and sweeping. And it was around the time I told these fucking punks they weren't going to get away with it. And if you can check and you look, you'll see his buddies, Fever, John Bedard, took off to Colorado with his Mexican wife. We had just gone to their wedding, really nice Mexican family. Got a great recipe for a Mexican dip. It's lovely. I know, they started selling that crap in the stores. All of a sudden it got really popular, that layered Mexican dip. Right, and then it got really popular, and then it got recalled for having listeria. Go ahead back, check the fucking timeline. I know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Is there vinegar on your pork? Huh? You fucking morons. Right, so the security teams from the shops down in Freeport, Walgreens up here, Hannaford, Shaw's, Walmart, Harvest Time, we had security teams and private teams working for those people too. And sometimes they overstep their grounds, especially if it's, right, someone, the family of a cartel. They think they can, well, I can just have my way and do whatever I want to that person and no one's going to care because they're trying to get those people out of here, right? Right. So, yeah, we told them. Yeah, they knew how fucked up that was, some of them. And a lot of them went along with it. Right, because if they don't, just like Robert De Niro, if they see them not go along with it, the claws fucking go in. And they attack them like the woke mob. Ask Jordan Peterson and all these other people that have lost their licenses. Okay, so think about what they've been doing with law enforcement and state workers over the years. Some are okay with it and some aren't. Right, I can go back to 2000 and 2001 with those fundraising companies who raised money for firefighters and police. And there was a few dirty police that were okay with some of the fraud. Right, because I mean, technically, I mean, they're giving money to the police and firefighters. The police would only get 30%, really, 27 to 30%. And then the workers, that's how it would work. See, me has a runaway that they hired off the street. I'd get, if I made a call to a business or a resident, say, hey, we're calling you for your local whatever, guys. And you have people's information, you know, where they live, you know, how much money they make. They got these residential sheets from the library, 10 cents a sheet. You can go get them printed out pretty easy. And then you have your business residential cards. They would never give the rookies the stacks of businesses that gave the year before. Yeah, those guys would call them all day long, just making sales. Hey, calling you for your local. You donated $50 last year. You want to donate another? All right. Hey, you want to be a hero this year and go for 75? Hey, you want to be a gold member? We'll give you a full page ad. Come on. Right, and then they'd put on these alumni games with retired sports players, football players, baseball players, and they'd fight against, I mean, they would play against the police and firefighters that were retired, against the retired players. And they'd have alumni games, and they'd make pamphlets, and then they'd put the businesses into the pamphlets as donators. And if you donated, $50, you might get a little square. If you donated $350, you might get a half-page ad. Depends on where you were. I know some places they pay $3,000 for a half-page ad if you're in like Narragansett Valley and stuff like that. Right. You're in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Like, you fucking call here again. Call here for the goddamn police. This is going to be a hard neighborhood, ain't it? Why are we here? Oh, you're a bunch of fucking druggies. I see that. Right, I know. And then when I see cartel people and my brother and others down around that area dealing drugs to some of these people, you start to connect some of the dots. I started to have flashbacks of those granolas yelling at me as a kid about these drugs being trafficked up to our area. Right, and so some at that area, some were heading south down towards Florida, and others were going up north to the fancy golf clubs, Camden, stuff like that. Right. So anyways, yeah, I pissed those guys off too. Yeah, I know one of them, I slammed his head on the table because he kept hitting a prostitute. His name was George Sousa. This little chubby dude. I know, I was like, we stop hitting her. And then it's like he hit her again and gave me a look like, what are you going to do about it? I took his head and I slammed it on the table. And I put all my body weight on it and I was holding it on the table with both my hands. And I looked up at, what's his name, Joel Bishop, tall dude from Lewiston. Could have been a basketball player. I was like, dude, do you want to help? Oh, this was like the year 2000, 2001. Yeah, it was around 9/11, so probably, yeah, 2001. I was like, hey, do you want to help? Or, I know he put his hands up in the air, like, don't look at me for help. We were in a hotel room. The dude with his head on the table was making a lovely eggplant parmesan. I know, I ruin everything, don't I? I know. His girlfriend didn't even want the help either. I know. She was like, let him up. Leave him alone. Like, you fucking whore. She was a prostitute anyways. I know. She used to smack her gum, and she'd look at me like, smacking that gum. How'd you get to be so sweet? I'll show you sweet, you fucking bitch. I know. So anyways, when I let his head up, I knew this guy's gonna fucking kill me. So I was like, I booked it for the door. And the big dude that was standing there, he kind of stood in the way maybe a little bit, so he couldn't run after me. Yeah, he did. Even if he did run after me, I mean, he wouldn't have been able to keep up. Yeah, so I knew as long as I ran quick, I'd have a chance. Right, well, I mean, I had to make it like the other guys couldn't stop me either, because then they might have gotten in trouble. Like, why'd you let her run? Well, that tall dude, that was the father of my oldest two children. That was his cousin, that dude from Lewiston. Yeah, he's a really tall guy. Is he still alive? I don't know. Someone said he died of an overdose years back, but I don't know. Someone else said he wound up in jail. Someone else just said he wasn't doing good, dating some lesbians and smoking crack. I don't know, probably. Right, so yeah, it was around that time. Yeah, they took me up north, left me for dead in the woods. Go figure. Right, well, what was I gonna do? Where was I gonna go? We were just going to a show, right? Yeah, we went way up north there. Some Metallica cover band was playing at an Indian restaurant. They had Jello shots. I was like 19. Yeah. Right, so a lot of the people too from the prior years that were involved with some of the groups and the beating up and stuff, those people had taken off to California and Texas, yeah. Yeah, so over the years, you can even go back to when I was a kid and some of the granolas and activists from when I was like 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, pissed off at the activity going on out there. Some of them were nurses. Yeah, they've moved away. They've moved far, far away. Right, but when you look at the involvements too and how those people and their reporting, what's that? Yeah, I remember what some of them back in 8th grade, they took me to New York. Yeah, I was all excited. We saw the Twin Towers. I took pictures. They were going to take me to the David Letterman show, but I think the aunt, she was a cool person, yeah. She was in a Howard Stern book, modeled nude, had her body painted. Told me all about it. She showed me the Howard Stern book and her picture in it and everything. It was like all tribal painting. It's really cool. Yeah, help me, Rhonda. Her name was Rhonda. Uh, yeah, they were going to take me to the David Letterman show, I think to make fun of me, right? Because they had already on the David Letterman show, if you go back, you'll see how he was making fun of my town, Windsor, Whitefield area. They were making fun of our town, and they actually put up a sign that said, yeah, they had our Huzzy's General Store on his show. He put up the sign because it said wedding gowns, guns, and beer. It was like people used to make fun of the order. What was the order? It's like, yep, that's how it goes. You get drunk, beer, get your wedding gown, then you buy a gun and you shoot the bitch. You could get everything at that store too. Yeah, that's why it said that. You could get a wedding gown, you could buy a gun, get some beer. They had washing machines, lazy boys, nuts and bolts. You go down in the bottom floor in the basement. That's where you have all your like paints, recliners, washers, dryers, that kind of stuff. And then on the middle floor, that's the floor of the main entrance you walk in on. You have the butcher, they do their own butchering right out back. Now you know it's fresh, you know, when there's blood all over the butcher and he's still holding that axe, you're like, oh, give me that thigh right there. What's in the crock pots? Right. Anyways, so yeah, the middle floor would have your butcher, you had your groceries, and your guns. You had your hunting supplies, fishing poles. And then the staircase that brought you upstairs is where you could buy your graduation dresses and your wedding gowns and your sundresses and your tuxedos. What were we talking about? Oh, yeah. So, anyways, yeah, they've left me for dead in the woods a few times back in the day. It's okay. It's not and we let it go back then. We were hugging it out with them when we came out of the woods. We're like, yeah, it's okay. We understand. Yeah, we deserved that, didn't we? Holy shit, what a miracle. We actually saw our body laying on the ground that time. Cool. That was fucking awesome. I don't know. I was like, am I in the tree? This is fucking cool. Yeah, they snapped my neck and my back. Left me in a mud puddle up on these snowmobile trails in the woods. I don't frickin' know, dude. The story of how I got out of those woods is a miracle. The van, the electrician, the police. Unbelievable. They ever get those guys? I have no idea. I really don't know and I don't care. Yeah, I deserved that. I shouldn't have been up there. And those guys should have known better. I remember thinking, like, what would make someone think that's okay to do that to someone? I mean, I know I look like an animal. I walk like an animal. I talk like an animal. And I am a human being, believe me. I mean, there's ways to tell, right? Yeah, but I do. I remember thinking, what would make them think that that is okay? They just follow orders, don't even know who it is. They just take the word for it of whoever's paying them that they deserve it. They don't seem to care. Right, because if they don't listen, well, they don't have a job. This was, 90s, early 2000s. Thank goodness for body cams coming into play, huh? The Candyman. I hung it out. Yeah, I hugged it out with some of the cops and the sickos that left me for dead in the woods. I said, it's okay. I totally understand. I know. I was a runaway, warrants, big mouth, part of a cartel family. You're going to lose your job to speak up for some fucking psychotic, mentally ill, retard, warrants, runaway. I mean, these people disappear left and right. What are you going to say or do? Right. I mean, to even say anything, that's going to get you kicked out of the cool club. They don't even say nothing. They just see you're a caring person. Oh, they didn't make it. Yeah, it's not like there's an audition or there's a question period. They just watch and listen, and they see who's willing and not willing. Who might be tempted to? Oh, not yet, but they will, huh? That one's ripe and ready to go. Right. So anyways, if you have any other questions, comments, or concerns, we're right here. Yeah, we're actually hitting close to 40 minutes on our video, so we're going to do our coffee and stretches. I mean, we'd love to sit here all day and just go on and on and on about the horrific horror that's happening here with our children and explain to people some of the past events that have led up to that. There's no victimhood here. That's what we try to tell people. We're fine. Help the fucking kids. These revenge games that these punks and activists and psychos are playing to get the Karens and the non-vaxxers and the MAGA is ridiculous. See, they've made it easy to make a target out of our children, whether they're a Karen, non-vaxxer, or a MAGA. You sick fucks. Hopefully. Yeah, you know what? It's not about showing up at school meetings. Fuck that. That's just part of their ploy. And then they make a freaking scene out of that. Right, people will be waiting for that next school meeting to see all the parents there. Look, see, we got the parents to care. Look how full these school meetings are. No one used to show up to these things. Oh, job well done. I guess we're doing it. We're doing it. And wow. Oh my goodness. We're doing it and doing it and doing it. Wow. I represent Queens, who's raised out in Brooklyn. Mama said knock you out. Pew, I'm gonna knock you out. I really hope the motherfucking proper authorities step the fuck up and do what they can do to help these children. This is fucking disturbing. And the adults that are doing the best they can. That is so disturbing. A lot of people in class are so outraged about what they just witnessed happened at that school with that teacher. What the fuck? And praising that teacher for doing the best they could to, get the fuck out of there. Not throw fists back. Did you see? He did not throw any fists at any of those kids. He was trying to do the best he could to restrain them. Like, almost like, what are you guys doing? That's so sad and scary. Wow. Hopefully. You're welcome. Thank you.